I'm Roniel.
I'm DaRon.
Oh man, what a really interesting day. Are you ready for this winter? I mean, you guys are probably not from Ohio, and anybody that is from Ohio kind of actually knows how bad Ohio weather is. So, and it seems like the what like it's going to be a crazy winter because it's coming from the west to the east.
Yeah,
Seems like
yeah.
so. I'm not really ready for it. And every time around this year, it seems like it will snow on Christmas, and then start in January all the way to damn near April, we are full of snow.
Yeah, yeah. It and it at least where we are, depending on where you are relative to the lake, you can get more snow in the beginning and then less snow later on, and then everyone down the south just gets obliterated.
Man, it's crazy. But I don't know. I like Cleveland. I like Ohio. I mean, most people say, why would you want to be in Ohio? Because they think most of it is farmland. But I just like the fact that we don't get those catastrophic like weather,
Yeah,
like
the hurricanes, the
hurricanes and shit like that.
tornadoes.
Yeah. So, yeah. Anybody that doesn't like Ohio, forget you guys. But if you do like Ohio, come to Ohio and enjoy our lovely weather. Like it's awesome, man. It's awesome. But anyways, see anything fun, anything interesting, Deron, that you thought was interesting?
Did you ever see when it came out I think it's Indian and it's a mixture of English and Hindi. It's on Netflix. It's a Netflix original, I believe. But I think it comes out of India. I'm not certain. I believe it's made in India. But the television show Eternally Confused and Eager for Love,
No. Is that funny or is that?
it's a comedy and it is hilarious.
Oh, you gotta send me that because I haven't really. So again, I was watching Wednesday. That's been my thing, and that was really good. And right now, I haven't seen anything else that I wanted to watch. I'm thinking about watching that Fate series. I didn't finish I watched the first one, but didn't watch the other one. So that would be another one on my list to actually watch because I want to watch something with comedy.
Yeah. Well, I think you'll enjoy that. It's absolutely hilarious. Not to spoil it, and I'm not a good storyteller, I openly admit it, but there's a scene, for example, where he's sitting at a table and he's surrounded by mostly women and a couple of his guy friends, but one of the women, they're all talking about how women feel unsafe in various environments and things of that nature. And one of the women who doesn't like him, I'll leave it at that, goes through and she asks him, well, what have you done, Ray, to make women feel safe? And he explains this plan where if it's late at night and so it's all dark and he's walking behind a woman, to make them feel safe, he will walk faster and overtake them so that they don't see him as a threat.
You know, wow.
And it's like, that's his plan, which of course would make anyway because if the woman starts to move faster, of course he's going to move faster and faster, and you're actively chasing the woman, but you're not. Absolutely, it's absolutely hilarious. It's a great show. It's incredibly funny. It's really about this guy who is, I believe he's in his mid 20s. I think it was 24 or 26 or somewhere around there. And he's trying to find love, and a lot of that hinges on the way Indian culture is and things of that nature. And importantly, he's in a well-to-do family, which operates very differently than the other segments of the Indian society. It's absolutely fantastic. It's really funny. My kids and I and my wife watched it, and everyone was laughing. So I think you'll enjoy it.
Okay, I'm gonna check that out. You got to send it to me. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I definitely looking for something that I can actually binge watch. Is this a series or just?
Yes, it is. It is. And they're going to have another season come out, I believe. But
Then yeah, I got something I got to binge watch this
yeah,
whole weekend, so this is
yeah,
gonna be awesome. So yeah, you guys should go check that out as well. And I know I'm gonna go check it out and then come back. Maybe we gotta have a reaction video. We haven't had too many reaction videos, so I think we got to do a reaction video on that Wednesday and some other videos or actual series. So, but anyway, let you kick it off for our topic of today.
fantastic. I'd like to discuss yet another case that I had. This one I think is especially important for males. I believe we talked about online dating scams targeting women in the past and how some of those operate. There's another one that targets men that operates differently. As you know, of course, Roniel, even the mere threat of something involving hebephilia, which is tied to post-pubescent teens, so typically from 16 onward, which can land you in jail. So even the threat of that as a male can be absolutely just painful for you from a mental perspective, make you very afraid that you'll wind up going to jail. What what you will see from time to time with some of these online dating sites now is you'll allegedly be courting someone who is, say, maybe 18, 24, whatever it happens to be, somewhere within your age range, and you'll wind up getting this. They'll ask you to send pictures, right? So in this particular case, this gentleman was allegedly involved with what he thought was an adult female, and he sent some pictures. Now he was fully clothed. Let me rephrase that. He wasn't fully clothed. He had undergarments on. Okay, so he sends these pictures to this lady, and he asks her to send pictures and a few other things. And what winds up happening is he suddenly out of the blue gets this phone call alleging to have come from a police officer. And when the officer, so he played the audio clip for us, and when the officer goes through and says his name, it's a little, it's not that it was garbled, but it was said in such a way that you couldn't quite get it, but it sounded like, you know, you're going, well, it could be Brown, it could be this, it could be that. Because of how he said it, it could be a whole bunch of different, relatively common names. So you're left going, well, when we listen to it, because of course we're tied into a lot of, and we know a lot of police departments, we know a lot of law enforcement in general, FBI, a lot of the different locations, we're listening to it and we're like, I can't quite understand what this guy is claiming his name was. So we put out feelers actually to the different departments saying, hey, have any of you been going after or heard about this case involving our client? And all the police departments, the local FBI locations, etc., came back and were like, no, no, we don't know anything about this. And what then happened was he gets this text message alleging to be the mother of this child, and you know it was a child, a purported child. And the mother's like, oh, we've contacted the police, you're dating our daughter and you're an adult, and all of this other stuff. And what they then say is, well, you have to, their end goal is to try to get you into a settlement with the family where you wire them money or what have you, so that you don't go to jail over allegedly having relations with an underage individual. And I think, to me anyway, this is one of the more brilliant of the scams because it plays so well on Number one, making sure that you can't verify it because the police officer's name isn't quite intelligible. Number two, most people wouldn't know who to go to or what police stations or any of that kind of stuff. So it's not even like you could pursue the matter and try to figure anything out. But also that most males, certainly, yeah, I'll just say most males, are more than aware of how disgusting and wrong it is to date someone who's underage when they are in their 20s, etc., which is usually the group that they're going after with this, is some older men, not obviously not guys who'd be under the Romeo and Juliet laws. But this was one that I thought was just so interesting because what we wound up doing, because you can't be certain, what we wound up doing was we imaged his phone, we imaged his computer, and we told him, here are your images. We did an analysis on it. If the police ever do come after you, you know, we're giving these to your lawyer. Your lawyer's just going to store them. You'll have to buy a new phone, but it's not too big of a deal. You can go and your lawyer can then handle this, because he was actually asking us if we could do just this big analysis on everything, and I was telling him, look, I'm almost 100% certain this is a scam, because again, you can never be quite certain. Said, I'm almost 100% certain this is a scam, and while many professionals out there, oh man, they would soak him for every penny he's worth. It's like I told him, it's international. You're not going to recoup any money that you spend on us, and it wouldn't be ethical for me as a security professional, as a forensics professional, to go through and do this stuff for you when you haven't gotten a letter from the police, because like we talked about before, the police aren't going to call you. I mean, and that's what I told them. You know?
No, they're not going to even give you a warning.
Especially if minors are involved, and I know because I've worked those cases. They're just going to show up, and they will show up with a warrant, and they will rip your house apart. They will tear apart all your electronics. They will image everything. You'll then know, and you will come to whomever it is you come to. Police don't typically give you a warning. I mean, it doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, they don't want to tip you off.
Yeah. Have you seen that? Yes. Have you seen that video where this guy's sitting there flashing his cash and then SWAT comes busting?
Yeah. That was hilarious.
That was so funny.
But most people don't know that. So
right. Like I said, actually, this was one of the more brilliant ones to me because it plays on our innate fear of, number one, of going to jail. And number two, going to jail for a sex crime, and even worse, going to jail for a child sex crime, when, as far as you knew, everything was on the up and up. Because, as you probably know, if someone lies to you about their age, the courts have come down and said it's still on you.
Yep. Yeah, it's sad that somebody lies to you and you get in trouble, and they're lying all the time online. And then you see some of the girls coming up. They don't look like their age. They look like they're completely older.
Yeah.
And that's not fair. That's not fair. And first of all, I mean, I guess people should always be cautious about what you're doing, but it's not fair. This is another reason why I say online, when you're trying to date, you're dating somebody. You shouldn't send any naked pictures or anything your private area anyway, and you should be trying to get to know a little bit more about them.
Yeah.
And especially when you don't know this person, and it is even harder trying to go out and date somebody. But I mean, you almost got to treat it like a private investigation. Like, you got to find out as much as you can about this person before you start taking it to that next level. And then, I mean, I wouldn't even go into doing that anyway, because you guys haven't even got to that point where that is even possible. So when somebody asks, "Oh, can you show me?" No, I'm not doing any of that. I don't even like actually going and talking to people online or trying to, you know, have a conversation in that way because people are exposing people, people are putting people out there. There's no guarantee that whatever you decide to do, that somebody won't try to blackmail you, scam you, whatever. And I just think that people need to get a lot smarter and start like really taking these things serious because the laws don't work in our favor.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. You that was another thing I advised the gentleman he needs to be more cautious in the future with online dating, and this goes for males and females. We've already gone over online dating scams involving women, and no matter the case, they're trying to soak you. My wife has a friend who got divorced, and she's tried online dating, and every single time they try a scam similar to what we talked about previously with that one lady, where they have the constant tragic accidents, and then they suddenly start needing money from you. And she's like, I'm divorced and have 4 kids. I have no money. These guys, they're so stupid, but the scammers still keep trying to press. And she's like, I don't have money. And it makes it very difficult to date online. I don't know what the answer to that is because I never dated online. In fact, that wasn't even a thing well, when I got married. Uh, but I do know you have to be especially careful because people will lie. You get people claiming they're women who are men. You get people who are scammers. You get people who are underage legitimately and are lying to you. And then you get people who are significantly older but lie to you. It's a very dangerous world, and you definitely want to make certain that you meet the individual.
I guess the way I would go about it is red flag. If the person doesn't want to meet, the person doesn't want, to show their face or anything else, that's a red flag. If the person is asking for money and you guys have not been together for quite a long time, you have never met this person, you've never been like on a date, you never done anything, red flag. And I think when you're going to date somebody and you're going to go out, I think you should go out as a group. You never know what they're on, what they're about. They might try to, rob you, set you up. I mean, I think that that's a safe way to go about it. So that way, if something happened, you at least have somebody with you and somebody that could witness something that happened. And more likely, if you say that I'm going to go out, we're going to go out as a group, that's going to scare them off anyway. So they're probably not going to show up. So you kind of have to start thinking these things out logically. And from somebody who have dated online before and somebody who's very skeptical about things, that's kind of how I go about it. And if anybody starts asking me for money from day one, it doesn't even matter if it's months and months. There's a no. I don't know you. I don't care how tragic your thing is. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to say that I don't care about people's tragedy, but I don't care how tragic your shit is. I'm not. I'm not sending you money. I'm not sending money online. I'm not sending money anywhere. I don't know you like that. And even if I met you, I'm still not sending you any money. It would. I would have to know you for a long time and get to know you from as an individual and know who you are and know that it's worth it in order to do something like that. And I still wouldn't send a bunch of a whole lengthy amount of money. Like that's just not happening.
Yes.
You got to be careful. Even online, sending money online, I have a thing. Don't do it. Don't do it. Just period. Even if you're spending money online, be careful about how you do that. You just gotta think logically. You gotta use your common sense.
Okay.
So yeah. So there's a lot of scams out there. Again, you know, we've we always tell you guys be cautious about these things, and there's a lot of different scams that are being ran, and there's always something new every month, every year. So start thinking about these things and take in what we're saying and add them in, and I guarantee you it'll save you the hassle of either going to jail or losing money or getting your credit card stolen or this stuff stolen. I mean, separate these things, all right, especially your cards, your phones, and different things. Just start making your life. Think of your life, and I guess as we would say, most people are not security professionals, but if you were a criminal, think about how criminals would actually try to exploit you, and then start, trying to combat that or start trying to harden, your life. I mean, I know that sounds crazy, but it's what you need to do. So I don't know if you have anything else to rhyme, but that's some of my tips I think that would help people with online dating. So definitely be cautious. All right. This is our segment. I'm Roniel.
I'm DaRon.
And if you haven't already, please like, comment, and subscribe to our channel for more episodes like this one. Until next time.
Have fun. You remember when we talked about the one with the woman, we talked about how they do it differently, and to exactly what you're talking about. With women, they're playing on the heart. With men, they play on the other part.
Mm-hmm.
and and they know also the kinds of things that will get a male spun up and scared enough because he doesn't want his friends to find out, he doesn't want his family to find out, or what have you, that they can start getting that money out of you. And but it's a different tactic typically for women. It's a different tactic. They're not stupid. They know their trade. They've been doing this for a while.
And that's why I say, I always tell people, no, not to be funny. If you really feel like you have to send something, get a picture offline. Don't show yourself. I mean, because then, like I said, it's not you. It's not that. And then even that, I still don't believe in sending any of that.
Yeah.
But if that's just something you're going to do, because people do that after they've been in a relationship with this person, and they'll be in there with them for months and months and do that. But then that person is still scamming them.
Right.
They're kind of setting them up, like baiting them in, building their trust, gaining
Right.
their trust. I mean, and then next thing you know, they hit them like right where it hurts.
Right. I have naked photos of you, which I'm going to spread online. Well, they're not of me.
Mm-hmm.
Or in this gentleman's case, you've allegedly been fraternizing with a minor. You said you were an adult. It doesn't matter.